All right, so we're gonna go through a protocol. Luka was at our certification this weekend and his low back wasn't feeling great. So he asked me, hey, what would you do for a client who came in, was feeling kind of tight in the low back, hips are really tight, you know, they're uncomfortable sitting around all day. So this isn't anything that we're targeting anything specific. We're kind of giving him a general overview or a general protocol that he can use to kind of loosen his hips up and maybe give himself some relief. So first thing we're gonna do is just work on the tension of his abs. You know, we carry a lot of neurological tension. He's gonna get down, face down on that like Superman.
So here, like,
yep, just like that. He hasn't gone through this protocol yet, so we're just gonna get kind of crazy.
Yep.
I just want him to put his arms out straight so there's no tension there and just start breathing real deep. Now, what he's gonna find is as he inhales, he's actually gonna rise up on that ball. We like the dodge ball because it has some grip onto it and you can kind of peel it across the soft layers of your skin. If you pulled your shirt up, that might work a little bit better, but we're just in the interest of time and efficiency, we're just gonna have him breathe. If you came over here and saw from the side, when he inhaled, he would come up on that ball, and when he exhaled, that ball would kind of sink into the soft part of his stomach, and he can get it deeper and deeper. Now, I want you to just kind of start, you can look toward me and let the, turn your torso and let the ball kind of roll to your QL a little bit. Good, yep, just kind of roll. Now once you keep coming, now once you get to that side, you can take and bring your knee up and take that top arm and just kind of go over this arm here.
okay.
There, yeah. So now we're getting the QL a little bit. You can see, you feel that in your guts a little bit. When he exhales, that's gonna be sort of the relaxation that lets it get deeper and deeper. So we're just kind of releasing that tension here. When we have low back pain, we'll tend to guard, we'll try to tighten up, and we're just trying to relax and release some of that tension with this. A couple breaths, maybe 5-10 breaths, whatever you need. Let's go to the other side when you're ready. And I want him to peel that across his whole abdomen as he rolls to the other side. Good, take your time with it. There's no really set protocol as far as reps and breaths, but I want him to just lay there until he feels comfortable. When he exhales, that it goes real deep into his abdomen and it doesn't make him sense or make him sick. So there's gonna be a little bit of guarding in there. Go until you can relax onto that ball and let it sink in. How's that feeling?
Feels good.
Good.
I can feel it going, like I'm trying to pull it in essentially as I breathe out.
Right. Good. When you're settled, go ahead and roll off the ball and fall right to your back. Now we're just gonna, you can come in here a little bit closer. We're just gonna do a reset on his hips and see if this gives him a little bit of relief. Bring your feet up 90-90. Okay. So I want you to put one hand on top here and the other hand underneath. You can actually go like this. So what I want you to do is push into your hand with this knee, and I want you to push this way with this hand. So we're gonna create a little bit of torque at the hips. Yeah, not 100%, just kind of a little bit of tension. Let's release, let's do one more. So he's isometrically pushing up this way and isometrically pushing down this way. So we're creating sort of a torque. Let's switch hands. Good, so now we're pushing up with this knee, pushing down with this knee. This creates a little bit of torque, and sometimes if you need to reset that sacrum, it'll help. Good. Now let's do both hands on top. We're gonna bring both knees up and push down with both hands. Not 100%, it's a ramp up. Okay, relax. Now let's put two fists in between our knees, and I want you to push your knees into your fists. Good, relax. Sometimes you'll feel a little click, yeah, in the middle of your pelvis. That'll help. This one's kind of uncomfortable. I know Luka's really good at squats. His squats look really good. He's more quad dominant, but all guys should be trying to drive toward more internal rotation of the hips. So what we're gonna do is have him go back, push his hands together, And what I want you to do is give a little bit of tension into both fists and try to increase the distance between his ankles as much as possible. He's gonna feel that way deep in the hip, but you're gonna see how restricted that internal rotation is, and that feeds forward into all his lower body movements and possibly his back pain. Good, relax. Let's do one more. Now, if you don't feel that stretch with the hands, we can take that ball that we had and try to squeeze the ball, and then our goal is just to increase the distance. And you can see here from the top, his left leg's a little bit more restricted, and that's the side where he has pain. Good, relax. So after that sacral reset, what we're gonna try to do is oftentimes, the adductors, while they're really short and tight, they're very weak. So we're gonna strengthen the adductors with a Copenhagen hip lift. I'm gonna have him slide right here. Now, I'm gonna show him the technique. Go ahead and sit right up here, sit right on top. We're gonna keep the lever, split your feet right down the middle here. Just put your other foot over here. Like that. Yep. So what we're gonna do is make it as easy as possible and keep the lever as short as possible. What he's gonna do is kick this foot directly under the bench, and this one's gonna come on top, and you're gonna go right to your elbow, like a side plank. Yep, but I want you to come all the way in. Let's come in. He's strong in the adductors, keep coming. We're going very, very basic here. I want his crotch as close to this bench as possible, because as you see from the hip to where he's on the bench, that's the shortest amount of lever, so it's the easiest. As he gets stronger, he can increase the lever by moving out on the bench. So what I want him to do is I want him to try to bring his knees together and hold for time. The other important thing I want him to do is, you can see he's got a crease at the hips. I want him to squeeze his butt and come all the way through on a side plank. From here, let's see if he can do this. Take this bottom leg out and swing it over top of the bench, and he's gonna go to a push-up plank. Good, now from there, we're gonna get the hips a little bit with a butt squeeze on the exhale, and we're gonna try to get a little posterior tilt of the pelvis. So he's gonna big breath in, exhale, try to drive his middle back to the ceiling and squeeze his butt. So we're getting the core to fire up, which is becomes dysfunctional when he has low back pain, because when we can't contract our core, everything shuts down. So we're trying to reset that core. Now, take this leg, you're gonna swing it under the bench, we're gonna face the other way. Good, so this is our Copenhagen Hip Lift Plank Series, where we're going from one side to the other, but in between, we're doing a real high tension plank to reset the core, which is really important. So here we wanna make sure his hips are getting through, he's got a good tension, and we're shooting for anywhere from 10 to 20 seconds on this. So you can come right down when you get a second. Now the last piece is, we're gonna traction the low back with the brachial hang, but we're gonna also try to get some rotation in that pelvis again and see if that gives him a reset on the middle part of his pelvis, so the sacrum and the SI joint. So he's gonna come right here. Go ahead and come right to the front here. Yep, so you're just gonna hang. Thumb around. His hand should be right over the shoulders. Go ahead and put that right down. Now what I want you to do in this position is, I want you to make one leg long and one leg short, only rotating at the pelvis. Sometimes you're gonna feel an adjustment in there, which is good, trying to get that reset right back into the middle. Make one leg long and lead with your heel and pull your toe up. Good, let's settle down. Was that difficult to do for the rotation? Did it feel really restricted one way or the other?
I felt when I dropped that one foot, it felt like that stretch. Maybe
That's the stretch, yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I definitely felt that, yeah.
Yeah, so that's our reset for any type of low back pain. We're trying to activate the adductors, activate the glutes, and get the core fired up while we try to adjust that SI joint and get him into a better position, trying to relieve that low back pain. So some of these things might work for you, some of them might not work. We're just, as a general application, we're trying to get the pelvis in a better position and get everything fired up that's typically down regulated because of the pain.